We have long treated silence as an empty space. We view it merely as the absence of noise, a sterile void waiting to be filled with music, conversation, or the endless flashing distractions of the modern age. In our relentless pursuit of productivity and digital connection, we are taught that to be quiet is to be stagnant. We believe that if we are not consuming, we are falling behind. But if you have ever sat alone in a room and felt a deafening roar in your own mind, if you have ever experienced a profound, crushing exhaustion that 10 hours of sleep cannot cure, then you understand a terrifying truth. We are not tired from physical labor. We are collapsing under the invisible weight of chronic overstimulation. Our minds were built to wander through vast, quiet landscapes, yet we have imprisoned them in a neon labyrinth of perpetual urgency. Today, we look past the romantic poetry of solitude. We will peel back the layers of human biology to uncover the physical architecture of a quiet mind and discover why absolute isolation is no longer just a philosophical choice, it is a biological imperative. Welcome back to Inner Depth Studio. In the 17th century, the mathematician and philosopher Blaise Pascal made a haunting observation. He wrote, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." He understood this centuries before the dawn of the digital age. He recognized that our aversion to silence is not a modern flaw, but a primal, terrifying fear. We run from quietness because the moment the external noise fades, the internal dialogue begins. Silence forces us to confront the unedited, unfiltered reality of our own consciousness. We use noise as a shield to protect us from ourselves. To understand this fear, we must look at the neurochemical battlefield inside your head. At the center of this endless war is dopamine. Often misunderstood in popular culture as the happiness molecule, dopamine is actually the chemical of desire, motivation, and anticipation. It is the neurological engine that drives us to seek, to hunt, and to look for the next stimulus. In the ancient, natural world, dopamine was a scarce resource. It was earned through the exhaustion of the hunt, the patience of the harvest, or the profound depth of human connection. But in our current reality, we have engineered an environment of infinite, unearned dopamine. We flood our delicate synapses with a relentless stream of fast-paced information, artificial emergencies, and fractured imagery. We are forcing a primitive biological system to process the data of gods. Your brain, however, is a master of relentless adaptation. When confronted with this overwhelming neurological noise, it initiates a brutal defensive mechanism known as receptor downregulation. Imagine a person walking into an aggressively loud concert. To protect their hearing, they put in earplugs. Your brain does the exact same thing with its own chemistry. It removes dopamine receptors to protect itself from the toxic flood of modern stimulation. The result of this defense mechanism is a devastating emotional numbness. The subtle, quiet joys of existence, the feeling of the wind, the stillness of dawn, the weight of a good book fail to register. Your threshold for stimulation becomes so artificially high that you require a greater intensity of chaos just to feel a baseline of normalcy. Your mind becomes a prisoner to its own insatiable chemistry, constantly starving in a world of absolute abundance. But the damage extends far beyond dopamine. The sheer volume of information we process is leaving behind physical metabolic debris. A groundbreaking 2022 study published in Current Biology by researchers at the Paris Brain Institute revealed a sinister reality about mental fatigue. They discovered that continuous cognitive load, the exact kind of strain caused by endless context switching and digital consumption causes a toxic buildup of a neurotransmitter called glutamate in the lateral prefrontal cortex. You are not imagining your brain fog. The exhaustion is not just mental, it is chemical. Your brain is literally accumulating metabolic waste from the sheer effort of paying attention to a world that never stops screaming. And the only way to flush this neurotoxin from your prefrontal cortex is to stop consuming, to embrace the absolute void. This brings us to the profound necessity of what the internet calls monk mode, but what the ancient Stoics simply referred to as retreating into the inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor who commanded the loudest, most violent and chaotic empire on the face of the earth, constantly sought this internal retreat. In his private journals, he wrote that nowhere can a man find a quieter or more untroubled sanctuary than in his own soul. He instructed himself to grant himself this retreat constantly, to renew his mind. He was speaking the language of philosophy, but he was unknowingly describing a profound neurological intervention. Science now confirms that this descent into silence is not just a psychological reset, it is a physical reconstruction of the brain's architecture. A landmark 2015 study published in the journal Brain Structure and Function revolutionized our understanding of auditory deprivation. Researchers intended to measure how different frequencies of sound affected the brain, using 2 hours of absolute silence merely as a neutral baseline control. What they discovered shattered existing biological paradigms. The sounds did not cause structural changes. The silence did. 2 hours of profound, uninterrupted silence triggered a phenomenon called hippocampal neurogenesis, the actual, physical generation of new cells in the hippocampus. This is the region of the brain inextricably linked to learning, memory, and the regulation of our deepest emotions. Silence, therefore, is not an absence. It is an active, generative force. By intentionally starving the brain of external stimuli, you are not shutting it down. You are forcing it to repair its own circuitry. You are building new pathways in the dark. You are allowing the mind to finally organize the fragmented pieces of your identity. When you remove the noise, you activate what neuroscientists call the default mode network, or the DMN. This is the brain's resting state, but it is far from inactive. The DMN is responsible for deep introspection, for connecting your past experiences to your future goals, and for the formation of your core self. When you are constantly distracted, the DMN is suppressed. You literally lose the ability to know who you are. Yet, the physiological healing of silence is only half of the equation. We must also address the relentless chaos of our emotional state. We live in a society that forces our sympathetic nervous system into a chronic, unending state of fight or flight. Every notification, every outrage carefully curated by an algorithm, every artificial emergency signals to our amygdala that we are under mortal threat. We are pumping cortisol through our veins while sitting safely in our living rooms. In 2018, researchers publishing in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin explored the concept of solitude as a mechanism for effective self-regulation. Their findings were striking. They discovered that intentional solitude creates a powerful deactivation effect on the human body. Solitude is one of the only states that successfully drops high arousal negative emotions like severe anxiety, anger, and panic. It acts as an emergency brake for the nervous system. By removing yourself from the gaze of others and the demands of the world, solitude literally commands your biology to stand down. The ascetics, the monks, and the ancient philosophers who retreated to the desolate deserts and the silent mountains were not running away from the world out of cowardice. They were engaging in the highest, most advanced form of neurological self-care. They understood a secret that modern man has forgotten. To master the external world, one must first completely conquer the internal static. This is the call to your own quiet rebellion. It requires stepping off the battlefield of perpetual consumption to sharpen the blade of your own attention. It requires the courage to be temporarily unreachable. Let the dopamine withdrawal wash over you like a fever. Let the phantom noises of a chaotic world slowly fade from your ears. At first, the silence will feel like a cage. Your mind will panic, searching desperately for something to consume. It will demand entertainment. Do not move. Hold your ground in the center of the Citadel. Because if you have the endurance to stay, the chemistry will shift. The metabolic waste will clear. The neurons will fire in entirely new directions. The heavy fog will lift, leaving behind a diamond-like clarity, and you will finally realize that the silence was never a cage. It was the key. Stay deep.